Mori ore te whānau. Welcome back to the Practice Run, your frontline pass to the heart of sports action, brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams with your hosts, Tukoirangi and Rawiri. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit up, the Practice Run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the Practice Run is here to keep you informed, entertained, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play, every episode, every day. We'd also like to give thanks to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
Yes, it's a iwi, and today we have a fun lineup installed for you guys. We are diving into round 23, giving our previews and predictions for each of these games. We're tying in the TAB a little bit there because we've got big plays and paydays, ladies and gentlemen. And if anyone here is a regular listener of this show, you know, as well as I know, that I have no damn luck when it comes to the TAB. In terms of weeks, consistent weeks, I've failed. If we include preseason, I'm currently at 26 weeks of no joy. That's rough, man. That is rough. Has anyone, seriously, Fano, reach out to me, because I need to know if anyone's gone on a streak like this in anything. Whether it be a cold streak, if you just strike it out in town with the ladies, if you're just gone, a whole season without scoring a try, if you've gone a whole semester without passing exams. I'm talking to you, Jerry. If you've gone... The brook just caught a stray for no reason. I don't know if you've gone back-to-back failures for your driver's license. Let us know down in the comments below, or reach out on our social medias at 99 Dreams NZ on TikTok or Instagram, and let us know what are some things that you just have gone on a cold streak with. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I am done with this bloody sports betting, man. I need next year. Any one of you listeners that, think you can do a better job at the TAB predictions, please come on the show. I am tired of just wasting... What are we at? 26 weeks, I said, right? Of betting $10. Some weeks I bet 50 early on in the season. I was putting $50 on. Gee, that's like $3,000.
Yep. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, Gee. That's... Gee, fuck. Gee, I've won $0. I've pumped $3,000 into this machine and won $0. This is why, Fano, I personally don't, I do not promote or condone it. We're being real. We're not embellishing sports betting like we're winning it every week. I'm not. I'm telling you that much right now. So when we get into that space, remember, gamble at your own risk, gamble what you can afford, gamble responsibly. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it at all. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I could have had $3,000. I don't know what I'd spend that $3,000 on, but it wouldn't be freaking hopes and dreams of winning $236,557.33. That's for damn sure. So, yeah. That's how much my big play of the weekend is. But before we get into anything, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we start the show. If you're new here, we start the show off with a little thing we like to call Paper, Scissors, Rock. Next year, we'll probably come up with a new name for this. But for right now, it's just Paper, Scissors, Rock. And if you don't know how to play, I'll explain. Paper, Scissors, Rock. As the name explains, paper beats a rock beats a scissor, and a scissor beats a paper. We just go 1, 2, 3, shoot. We don't keep score. We don't keep track All we know is winners win and losers lose. Are you ready, brother?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. I'm not confident. Up. Ooh, arch. Nice. 2 got the rock. I had the scissor. Nice play. I was only thinking scissor. There was no other thought in my head. I think it was because it was the last word I said, like the paper beats a rock, rock beats a scissor, scissor beats a paper.
Oh, yes.
And I just only thought in my head. But how you been, brother? How's life? How's things treating you, man?
Yep, Mahi's all good. The gym's all good. We're close now to D-Day with the events. Training hasn't been going that great. I need to get in a few more hard training sessions, but it is what it is. I'll be happy with my time no matter what. If I come first, if I come last, I think I'm more there for what happens after the race than the race itself. So I'll probably take it chill. I don't envision I'll be dying. You might see me running with a smile on my face more than huffing and puffing. But yeah, no, it's good, learning experience. It's just first one, getting one under my belt. It'll be the next one where we'll be a little bit more concerned about what time we're getting and how hard we're pushing. Yeah, this one's more for the experience, feel the rhythm, feel the vibes. Then more so just get wasted after it. But the next one after will be a little bit more serious and a bit more intent with our training and how we go about it. But either way, I'm going to enjoy it no matter what. So we're going to have fun. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. But that's pretty much been me, man. Not really much has changed. Haven't really been up too much. What about you? What you been up to?
Yeah, brother, just more or less same as you, man. Just mahi hard. Just getting through all of that. Just being the one in the IT space at work is just, there's a lot of things I need to get done and a lot of people wanting different things done all at once. And I'm like, I know, it's just me, man. It's just me. So I'm getting through it slowly, but it's all good. Been dreaming, just looking through Trade Me and just adding a whole bunch of things to wish list. It's how I window shop. I realized this too the other day. I don't actually leave the house too much. I don't know what it is lately. I think I don't like going in public all that often, G. It's not really my thing, eh? Like, I get just overwhelmed, especially in supermarkets, man. There's just too many people in supermarkets these days. You will not catch me in a grocery store, bruh. It's just not my thing, especially a pack and save. The way they build a pack and save with that one, like, aisle down the middle and everything intersects with it, like parallel. I don't like that setup. I like the up-down, like the little slaloms.
Yeah.
I don't like having to give way in the middle of this massive intersection with all these. It's just, too much anxiety, bro. I just need to So me personally, I don't actually get out of the house all that much. I go on the motorbike and I go to Mahi and I go to like little cafes and bars and things. But you'll never see me at like a main center. Just too many people, man. I don't like it.
Fair enough.
It's weird. I think it's ever since COVID, like just being forced in my flat when I was living 2020 on my own.
Yeah.
That was just too much. And then ever since then, I've just not really liked being out in public with large groups. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever looking for Rawiri and Taranaki, he ain't going to be out and about. He ain't going to randomly bump into me on the street. I can guarantee that. Hey, but I have been trialing my new gear. If anyone knows how to work those friggin' Insta360 X3 cameras that bloody died on me when I was riding the other day, I'm like, well, it didn't die. It just stopped recording and then recorded like 20 minutes after. So we're working on those little kinks and things. But we have dropped a new video today, actually. When this one drops, you'll see over on the Wrenched Throttle channel a new video coming out with a different camera angle. And then we're just trying to work to produce some more videos that way. But that's been me, man. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm going to try and get out on that motorbike and record some more content. Let's get into some of these games this weekend. We got a big palette of games, and I'm looking forward to tonight's game, actually, man. When we talk about Thursday night bangers, it looks like we got another Thursday night banger back. South Sydney Rabbitohs are playing host to the Melbourne Storm. 15th takes on first place. This is David and Goliath at Accor Stadium in Sydney. Now, I'm looking at these lineups. We see Cody Walker slotting back in there at halfback. I think that's kind of, a good omen for the Bunnies. They definitely need a lot of, good fortune coming their way to beat Melbourne. And, Melbourne will be licking their wounds after that tough loss against the Dragons in the weekend. So we know that Melbourne Storm will be looking to put on a bit of hurt locker this weekend coming. So for all you Rabbitohs fans out there, don't hold your breath. Don't think that you guys are going to pull off a miracle like the Dragons did. It is going to take a lot of work. Is it impossible? No. But is it likely that you'll beat Melbourne Storm? Nah. I just don't see it, man. Like, Bellamy would have sprayed them. And it's not like, Melbourne didn't have opportunities to beat the Dragons in the weekend. They did. It was just the Dragons' defense were able to hold on towards the end there because Melbourne were, they had the momentum in their pocket. But yeah, just a few handling errors towards the end there, and the ball swayed the way of the Dragons. Now, players to look out for in this game. I'm looking at Pap. Pap's got to have a big game. I'm looking to Cody Walker to have a good game, both kicking the ball, running the ball, making smart decisions, and he needs to make those split-second decisions that we know he's capable of in order for the Bunnies to get some success, get some go forward. We're going to look for Cameron Murray to get some quick play the ball for Damien Cook to scoot out of dummy half because he'll be going up against Harry Grant, and we all know Harry Grant is that guy when it comes to moving quickly out of dummy half. He is known for it, and that's why he is so loved in that Queensland maroon jersey. For his quick play the balls and his ability to read the game at such a pace that you couldn't even see those sort of players offside, or you couldn't see XYZ player lining up beside him ready to take on the line as they all break it together. And then, they're scrambling, and the Storm have better scramblers, I think, than the Rabbitohs. So if Harry Grant catches you on the back foot, he's going to have probably Hughes or Munster on his inside, hit them. If it's Hughes, he's got the pace and the footwork to sort of shimmy, and then it's a foot race. And Pap is one of the best support run fullbacks. Everyone's saying, Pap's kind of done. Bring in, what's his name? Fa'alongo. But, man, Pap's still as efficient as ever, man. Really does Pap have a terrible game. So, he's going to be on that right shoulder or that left hip of Hughes, ready to go for a quick offload or for Hughes to sort of dummy the fullback and head over himself. But those are the kind of plays you can expect from Melbourne. And when they need to, they're going to settle it down with those forwards, Kamika, he'll be coming in just to slow the game down in the middle if they need to. Trent Luero, he'll be coming in there to do some mahi, and Big Nasty. He's coming in to take some of the place that is Alicia Katoa, who is injured at the moment, I do believe, which is perfect timing for my fantasy squad, man. I lose Payne Haas, I lose Katoa, Mulitalo. Man, I'm telling you, this season is just not for me, man. If I could just have 24 off, just write it off, I know I could. I would love to. So I'm looking for a big game from Nelson Asofa Solomona. He had a big game in the weekend, I thought. He's had a slow season. He's been, absent from the starting lineup for most of the season. He's come in dribs and drabs. He's still there. He's still contracted there for the foreseeable future, even with the incoming Stefano Uitakomanu. But, yeah, I think this will be a big performance from Big Nasty. If anyone's going to put their hand up and do some mahi, it's got to be Big Nasty, I reckon. So that's my predictions on that game. Let me head over to the TAB real quick to see what the TAB thinks about this game. So Storm are the outright favourites, and the TAB agree with me. They think South Sydney have, cue the Vince McMahon music, no chance. No chance at all, baby. But, yeah. Melbourne Storm paying $1.16 to the South Sydney Rabbitohs at $5.40. I'm looking to go Melbourne Storm, but let's have a quick look at their where is their winning margin? Yeah, look, I'm looking at Melbourne Storm to win by 13 plus. I think it's going to be a Thursday night banger. And you know what happens on a Thursday night? Might be a slow first half, but eventually tries just come flooding in like we seen last week. So I'm going Storm to win by 13 plus. It's paying out $1.68, which is 0.52 or 0.52 more than just Storm to be outright winners. So if you're a betting man, don't listen to me. I haven't been right all year, so hey, it is what it is. But we'll throw over to two. Who's your pick out of these two teams, and then get on into the Titans?
As much as I'd love the Souths to win, that's going to be pretty one-sided, I'd say. Melbourne Storm comfortably. Yes, and we will move into the first game on Friday, 9th of August. It is the Titans hosting the Sharks. This game will be played at Seabus Super Stadium in the Gold Coast. This is shaping up to be a good game. You have the 11th place Titans, who are on some form. They have won 5 out of the last 6 games, trending in the right direction after the absolutely horrible start. You know, they have gotten better as the seasons go on, and they are pushing hard to sneak into their 8th spot. A win this week would put them on 24 points, which gets them, I mean, the Dragons are in 8th place with 26 points, so they'll still be outside the top 8, but if results go their way, they could be edging closer to potentially cracking the top 8. So they've got it all to play for. And then you have the Sharks currently holding on to 4th spot. Their form hasn't been too great. In fact, they have only won 2 out of their last 5 games. So they are sliding out. They are currently on 30 points. So depending on results from the other teams, it's more than likely they will still be there, win or lose, in the top 4. But there is a potential that if they lose and say my Bulldogs win, we close that gap on them. They still have the better points differential, thanks in large part to the absolute hiding that they gave to the Tigers. So you never know. So you have one team who has an outside chance of making 8, and another team who is a little bit in free fall and could potentially fall out the top 4. Obviously, the big news about this game is Braden Trindle is out injured. He didn't even get named in the reserve, so there's no chance of playing. AJ Brimson for the Titans has been named 18th man, so he could be a late inclusion into the 17. You never know. But without Braden Trindle, it's going to be hard. As the Sharks have it, they have moved Blake Brayley to 7. So it looks like he's going to steer the ship with Daniel Atkinson remaining at 6, which means Captain Cameron McInnes is now going to be the hooker for the Sharks. Now, I don't know. He was a hooker coming through the ranks. He was a hooker at the Dragons. But there's a clip where he went to do like one pass from hooker, and I swear it sailed over the first receiver's head. Like, It was a terrible pass, I know that. So the fact that he's going to be playing there for a whole game, look, there could be late inclusions, maybe some late changes. I could see that happening. But, it's a tough one. And with the Titans being, on a good trend, they have momentum, they are at home. There's no Trindle, no Hines. You got all to play for. I'm actually picking the Titans to win this one. And I think they could do it. I'm not saying they're going to smoke them, but I think they could get a handy victory, mainly because of who the halves are for the Sharks. And yeah, so that's what I'm going with. I'm going to Titans to win. Let's see. Well, according to TAB, they should win because they're $1.52 favourite, with the Sharks paying $2.55. And fair enough, when you have your second option at 5'8", and then you have Brayley, a hooker, playing 7, so it's going to be tough. You're facing a team who again has won 5 of their last 6 games. The Sharks have only won 2 out of the last 5 games, So everything's trending in directions. The Titans are home. So I think it's only right that they are favourites. I'm backing them to win. If I had to give you a final score, I want to say they have been in some shootouts, the Titans. I'm going to go 30-12. And this is... They only played each other not too long ago as well, if I believe. It was 4 games ago, or 4 rounds ago, where the Titans won at 20-16. So can the Titans make it 2-0? I have put on just a 1-game multi for this one. We've gone with the 3 anytime try scores. I've gone with 3 Gold Coast Titans. Paydays, who I think just broke an NRL record last game. It was like 40 tries in 40 games or something.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with the number 40. I don't know if it's 40 tries in the quickest amount of games or most tries in 40 games. I don't know. So he's definitely one. I've got Jojo Fafita on the other side, and I've actually gone with Kinney. So if all 3 of those boys score in this one game, the odds are $7.06. So a quick $10 bet should pocket you around $70. Or if you just want to go for the head-to-head win, again, you're looking at $1.50. So what's that? $10 bet gets you $15. But that's pretty much it for this game, man. If you got anything else to add, feel free to do so, or feel free to move on.
So I'm looking at the Titans to win 13 plus, which is paying out $2.70 instead of the standard head-to-head of $1.52. I just don't think $1.52 is worth putting your money on, so I'm going 13 plus from the Gold Coast Titans. I don't think it'll be a close game at all. And speaking of a game that I don't think will be close at all, Eels take on the Penrith Panthers at CommBank Stadium in Sydney, 10 p.m. Friday, 9th of August. Get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking to go to a game and you just want to see some amazing football, make sure to pick up a Penrith Panthers jersey and head along to that game, because the Panthers will almost certainly play perfectly against these Parramatta Eels to make up for last season, when I think the Eels last season, they got that clean sweep on these Penrith Panthers. So
yeah, they had their number during the regular season. It's crazy.
Yeah. However, the tides have turned. Was it the tides have changed and the tables have turned? Something like that. Anyway, one of those whakatauki. The stripes have arrived for the Panthers. It is... I think this season for the Panthers, right, has been quite a testy season. They've lost quite a few players, and you can't say, especially looking at that Bulldog side, that losing the likes of a Stephen Crichton hasn't affected the Panthers. You could easily say that, the Panthers should be where the Broncos are, more or less, with having Cleary out for, I'd say, 80% of the season. Cleary's been injured for this season. Having no Lenu this season coming off the bench, having no Stephen Crichton in the centres, that leadership that comes with that. Edwards has been out now this season with origin duties or injuries. So the Panthers, they keep getting depleted. And yet they find new ways to win with what they've got. And, you've got teams out there in this competition that have superstar players, that have the big names, that are kind of like LA Laker-esque, they just underperform with the talent that they have. And so you've got to give a huge rap to Ivan Cleary, man, for the way he's been able to find new ways to coach this team with the tools that he has at his disposal. And you've got to give a huge rap to that Penrith Panthers development system. All of their players coming through are, premiership ready. So whatever they're doing over there in Penrith, man, y'all take a hat off, bruh, because these are coming in heavy. The Eels will be taking a, huge confidence boost out of last weekend. We see Jake Tungall with a profile picture this week in the team list. Every other week it's just been a blank image. There's been no image. So it's nice to be able to finally put a face to the name. Are they actually brothers out, Isaac and Jake?
Yeah, that's what
They don't look alike.
I think that's
I'm
what
assuming Jake's the older brother.
Yeah, Jake's the older one.
Yeah, Jake's the older brother.
Jake's the older one. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look alike at all. You could easily say if they pulled up to the whānau reunion, like, oh, good to see your cousin, Jake. They do not look like brothers. Blaze Talani, he's going to the Panthers, eh?
It's looking that way. It's not official, but pretty much all signs are pointing towards him going there. Yep.
Right, so Ivan gets to get an up-close and personal look at Blaze Talangi before he joins them in those Black Panther jerseys. So I'm assuming he'll line up next to Isaac Tungle next season, which will force Casey McLean out. And Casey McLean, fun fact, is no slouch. Last week he had a pretty solid game there in that centre position, which is, the Panthers, they look deadly now that they've got salary cap coming up too. Next season, they've got no Taruva, they've got no Luai, James Fisher-Harris is moving on, they've signed Isaiah Papali'i from the Tigers, they look like they're about to sign Blaze Talangi, they've got, what's his name, that little blonde fella on their bench, that half. Oh, they got Jack Cole and the other...
Cole. What, Schneider?
Cole and the other one? Yeah, is he staying or is he going?
I'm not too sure.
Man, well, I'll tell you one thing.
I don't know.
As long as you got Nathan Cleary, you've got a chance. As long as you've got Ivan Cleary, you've got a chance. And I definitely see why the Panthers are trying to lock both of them up for one of the biggest coach-player combos the game has ever seen. And, I mean, why wouldn't you? The two of those men have brought 3 premierships to this club in the space of 4 years, going for 4 premierships in the space of 5 years. That, to me, just speaks volumes about the quality of this entire team, head to tail. And that's why I'm outright Panthers. We haven't seen a lot from the Eels, and yes, they did get a win last week against a woeful Warriors that are lacking a bit of identity crisis. The season, there were high expectations for the Warriors, and I think they fell flat on that. And the Parramatta Eels definitely took advantage of that last week. And yeah, the results spoke for themselves. As for this week, the Penrith Panthers are in second place for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, and the Eels are fighting for that wooden spoon for a reason. And that's why the TAB has the Penrith Panthers at $1.14 and the Parramatta Eels at $5.75. But if you're like me and you're a betting man, you want to head to your winning margins. Now we're going to look at the Penrith Panthers 13 plus. That's paying out $1.62. A little bit more than what you'd get from the head-to-head. Not a lot more, but it's enough to get a little bit more bang out of your buck. So I'm going with the Panthers to win 13 plus. What's your thoughts on the plus and minus for that one? Who are you going for before you get into the Raiders?
For that game, I think I had, where is it? I had it before. No, I'm liking where you're going with that one. For the Panthers to win by 13 or more, I think it could be a bit of a demolition job. In saying that though, some teams just match up well with others and some teams just have like teams numbers. So Eels, no doubt they'll get up for this game. I don't doubt that for a second. But when luck's not going your way and you're down the bottom, it's not looking good. In Penrith, I think they always get up for this game as well. So I could see them, putting in a dominant performance just to remind them that, hey, they are their sons, of course, as James Fisher-Harris likes to remind them. Fair enough. But yes, that's all I got for that game. Moving on to... Is this the first game on Saturday? Must be. Yep. Your first game of Super Saturday at GIO Stadium in Canberra. You have the 10th place Raiders playing host to the 7th place Sea Eagles. And what is shaping up to be quite a good and intriguing game, might I add. Similar to the last one, a lot to play for. The Raiders, their form has kind of been up and down all season. But they are, I believe, 3-3 in their last 6 games. During those 6 games, they had a run where they won 3 games in a row. They then lost 2 games in a row. Oh no, other way around, sorry. They lost 3 games in a row, won 2 games, and then they lost to my Bulldogs. So up and down, but it's really the tale of Jamal Foggy. When he came back, he just changed that team. And he's got full control of that team, and I thought that was quite clear in the game against the Bulldogs. He played really, really well. Joey Tarpany, I thought, was their best player. He led from the front and was dominant as always. Such an elite prop peers. But they're going up against a team, the Sea Eagles in 7th, who have a lot to play for. The Sea Eagles themselves have been on somewhat of a roll. I believe they won 4 of their last 6 games. And they are finding form and rounding in, trying to solidify their spot in the top 8. A win for them, I believe, gets them... Where is it? A win for the Seagulls, take them to 29 points and would leapfrog the Cowboys and the Bulldogs. Where a win for the Raiders would see them even on points with the Dragons. They do have the better for and against, so they would leap them. And assuming they would win, you would think that their points differential would get bigger. So a lot to play for both teams. They're still well within a hunt to make the 8. One's looking to solidify their spot, other one's looking to jump frog teams and get into that 8. A lot to play for, and I think these 2 teams will play out quite a... For some weird reason, I just think it's high scoring. I couldn't tell you why. I just think it is. Which is the Raiders kind of... I think they play similar to the Bulldogs, really. They like slow, grimy games where, you have to work hard, like in the trenches. Seagulls, I think, could mirror them. But then, you got your superstars in the back there. Turbo, Tommy Talau, who likes to score tries for fun this season. The boot of DCE, the speed of Saab. I've actually gone with the Raiders to win this one. I think the heartbreak of last week is enough for them to get up and playing at home. I think they're a different beast. They got the Viking clap there. They got the crowd. And I also personally hope they win because I don't want to see the Sea Eagles leapfrog my Bulldogs. It's really as simple as that. My bias, yep, it is what it is. I do not care. The TAB can see through my bias because they have the Sea Eagles as favourites, paying $1.64 for the win to the Canberra Raiders, $2.30. A bet that I'm thinking about putting on for this one, again, we're looking at anytime try scores, and I did allude to the high scoring game, and it's reflected in this bet because I've got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different players scoring tries. That's right, Fano. Let's see what this $5 bet would be. So we've got Turbo to score a try, Jason Subs, Xavier Savage, Tommy Talo, and Olakuatu. A $5 bet there, Fano, for all 5 of them to score would give you a return of $264.45. If you like it, put it down. If you don't, shut up. But, that is pretty much me for that game. I'm rolling with the Raiders, and I hope that they win so they can get into the 8. And the Sea Eagles don't leapfrog my Bulldogs on the ladder. I think it's going to be a good game anyway. Will I be watching it? I think I might be drunk at this point already, but you never know. If you got something to add, feel free to add or carry on.
Yeah, I think I got the Raiders like you, but I'm going Raiders 1-12.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Raiders 1-12 for $3.60. It's a good odds, I think. Because I do think it'll be a close game. Probably high scoring, but I do think it'll be a close game. I don't think the margin will be too much more than a sort of 1-12. Could go either way, but I think I got Raiders to win 1-12. Before I get into the next game, you got a different hoodie on for the first time in 12 episodes. Threw me off. I was like looking at you before. I was like, there's something weird about this guy. What the heck? Different hoodie. Is it a new hoodie or what?
No, I've had this one for ages. The other hoodies that I normally wear, it's because they're both black on black. One
Nah, I swear it's the same.
No, I've got the lower one. That's like the main one I wear. Well, it's because normally when I do washing and it just happens to be like clean by the time the next one comes around. So it's just like, and it's also like the one that's like closest by, I've got like a whole bunch of washing that I need to do. So the ones that I normally wear will need to go through the wash. So this was the next closest hoodie to me. And yeah. But don't worry.
Fair enough.
The lower hoodie will be coming back.
Fair enough. It threw me off. I was like, the fuck? Anyway, 7:30 p.m. Saturday night, prime time television. We got the OG Queensland derby. It is the Cowboys taking on the Broncos up there at that long-ass stadium name in Townsville, North Queensland. 6th takes on 14th, and they're going to wear those wicked Cowboys throwback Carl Webb jerseys. They look clean, man. See them, go check them out there on the Cowboy website. They're the ones, that OG had like the bull head looking shape, and then it kind of like, like the 2005 grand final, like that kind of look. That's the shape that they've gone for. Looks real clean, that Carl Webb. So there's a statistic, Fano, that every time a player wears their throwback jersey for the first time, 9 times out of 10 they won. I think the Tigers were the only team that haven't won, and maybe the Raiders. I think the Raiders didn't win in Magic Round when they wore like that 95 Canberra Milk anniversary.
No, they won Magic Round because they beat my Bulldogs. Yeah, that was my Bulldogs that they played.
Oh, well, there you go then. So then I'm pretty sure every team has got a 100% win streak with the debut of their throwback jersey. Did the Dragons? I think the Dragons played in that throwback jersey last week. Or no, they were on the red and white one, the stripe. Because they've still got that throwback jersey coming out soon, the one with the little red collar or the white collar and the red on the sleeve. So the Dragons still had that up their sleeve, which potentially could be tomorrow's game that they wear. Tomorrow after the Broncos game that they wear it. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, back to this game. Why is Katapani on the wing and Mariner in the centres? Who knows? Katapani is a natural centre and Dean Mariner is a natural wing, but, we have a coach that for some reason just thinks otherwise. I think I've run out of things to say, about the Broncos. I'm at a loss for words with this team. I think Payne Haas is done for the season. I haven't actually checked the update on his injury, but at the end of that game, they suspected a Liz Frank. But I mean, whether or not he's done for the season, I think he's done for the season, man. No matter what, if it's a 2-week injury, a 1-week injury, or a 3-month injury, cuz take an early holiday, brother. You deserve it. You've had a great season. The team is just not where it should be right now, and you deserve better. There are a lot of players on this team that shouldn't be there next season. If possible, they could do a clean out of some of these players. I could rattle off about 13 off the top of the head. And I'm not even kidding. The Cowboys should comfortably get this win, I think. Just that edge defense of the Broncos, or the defense in general of the Broncos, I just don't think is up to par with that of any competitive NRL team. So expect to see the likes of Val Holmes, Kyle Felt, Murray Taulagi get over the line, especially when they're passing through on those edges. Expect to see Jeremiah Nanai, who's a prolific try scorer, out there on the edges, get over. I think Patrick Carrigan, we might see Super Patrick come back again. We saw him early on in the season just dominate our team of the weeks in the absence of Payne Haas. Can we see him do that again? One thing I like the look of, though, is we've got Big Ben Tekura in the reserves there. I'm hoping for a last-minute call-up. I mean, what have we got to lose, right? Let's just bleed in as much young talent as we can, get them some game time so that next season, when we're coming in, those guys are ready to roll for the season ahead. But will Kevin do that? Of course not. It took him, 20 games before he put Blake Moser in that starting lineup. Then times he put him, not in that starting lineup, but on the interchange. But before that, he only brought them in when we had injuries. So it's good to see Blake, I think, in my opinion, but, I'm not Kevy, so it could change. But I think Blake Moser has all but sewn up that 14 jersey. And in my opinion, that 9 jersey belongs to him. It's just occupied by the coach's son at this time, which is tough. I couldn't imagine telling my own kid, sorry, buddy, back of the bus for you, mate. Blake Moser is taking your jersey. I do think there is a time and place for Billy Walters. I just don't think it's right now and right here. I think it's time to look elsewhere for that hooker position. And I think, it's about time to give Blake Moser the keys. I think Blake Moser can play the full 80. He does need to work on that, size a little bit and to get a little bit beefier to defend through the middle. But man, his attacking prowess is up there, man. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing with this kid. I just want to see a bit more of it. And another young fella coming through, Ben Takuna. Why can't we get big Ben Takuna in this on this bench? Drop the likes of a Tristan Saylor or a Martin Tapau. Bring in a young buck. He's 7 foot pretty much. Get him in there running amok through the middle so that when next season comes around, Payne's got an interchange buddy. Xavier Willison will already, he'll have some confidence games under his belt. I'm kind of seeing him being sort of, more effective off the bench, I think. Xavier Willison. He's pretty decent off the bench. Runs a different, style of play to a Payne Haas. And I just don't think, and I know I've been harping on for a majority of the season about the coach, but I haven't seen any progress from any of our players. Like, there hasn't been any of these players that I think have gotten better or improved on their performance last season. If anything, they've regressed from last season. The only ones that, have performed better, but they're kind of, expected to, and I think it comes from the experience under Origin coaches, but that's been the Payne Haas, the Patrick Carrigans of the team. Reece, 50-50, and there is some rumblings in media outlets. I don't know if it's true or not. You can take all that stuff with a grain of salt, but there's rumblings that Reece doesn't respect a lot of the coaching staff, and he's rubbing some of the players up the wrong way, just with his attitude that he brings to work. But I think I think that kind of stuff's mainly hearsay, and I think it's because Latrell's not in the game, so they can't bag him. So they've gone for another Indigenous player to bag. So when you sort of read things like that, you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't really expect a team to be super happy when they've gone from grand final to almost being wooden spooners. So you can kind of expect there to be frustrations in camp, but I don't think anything is as severe as what some of these media outlets are reporting. But overall, I think the Cowboys should get this done, and I think they'll get it done comfortably. I'm expecting a big game for our boy Griff. Niame off the bench. The TAB agree with us. They've got the Cowboys, the favourites, at $1.42 to the Broncos $2.95. If we look at the winning margins, hate to say it, but I'm going Cowboys 13 plus, which is paying $2.40. I think the Cowboys can get it done. I think for past maybe 6 rounds, I think I've been slowly going against with the Broncos. I feel like everyone we play, we kind of just, like you last year, you start playing them into some really good form. When the Titans beat us early on in the season, since then they've kind of been really super consistent with their performances. Who else beat us and has gone on a tear? Pretty much everyone. But, it's just, we've lost that aura about us. We don't have that Brisbane brand of footy anymore. It's just, I think we lack identity, and I think for looking ahead to next season, that identity is going to have to come on defense rather than broken play attack, which is what I believe, rely on way too much. We need to focus next season on defense and set play. But yeah, what is your pick for this game? Who are you picking to win?
I'm going with the Cowboys. They've just got too much to play for, in their top 8, and the Broncos just are there to we'll make up numbers now, see out the year. So because of
Shit.
that, I'm rolling with the Cowboys to win. Might even be quite comfortably too. I'm thinking similar score to what the Titans versus Broncos game was. So yeah, that's not looking good, unfortunately, brother. But then that
Season's
brings
over,
us
man.
to well, the final game of Super Saturday. This game's at 9:35, and you have the 8th place Dragons facing my 5th place Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and this game is played at Jubilee Stadium in Sydney. Wait, I swear this game was being taken somewhere else. Anyway, it's not what I'm focusing on. This is a big game. In the media headlines, this has been billed as a bit of a personal battle between the coaches, with Shane Flanagan not happy that he couldn't even get an interview for the Bulldogs position. So let's see if he can take it out and get the revenge that he is after when he takes on Cameron Serrato and his staunch Bulldogs side. But hey, the Dragons, they have been the model of being, is it consistently inconsistent or inconsistently consistent? One of the two. I don't know which one it is, but I know it's one of them. Listen to this. This is the record for the last 7 games. It goes win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. So they have alternated victories and losses for the last 7 games straight. And then I think the one before that was a win as well. They got the back-to-back wins. One of them was the super impressive one against the Penrith, I believe. One of the few teams, actually they might be the only team that can make the claim that they have beaten both the Storm and the Panthers in the same season. I don't know if they've played the Sharks as well, or that they lost to the Sharks, but they play them soon, so they might be able to avenge that one. And then I just don't think they have beaten the Roosters. That might be the only team. But you got to give credit to them, man. No, not many teams can claim that they beat both Penrith and Storm in the same season. Full credit to them. But to be honest, I don't think it matters because they're going up against my Bulldogs, who have found some form of, well, really, from about the middle of the season onwards. Our record in our last 10 games is 7 wins with 3 losses. I believe that dates back to the Magic Round game, with the losses coming against the Raiders, I believe it was the Roosters, and then the Cowboys, which is the game we should have won. But super proud of the boys. This is a game where we need a win to continue to not only solidify our spot in the top 8, but also to aim for that top 4, which I think is really, really doable considering the Sharks have injuries. And we do have tough games coming up. We're playing against teams who are roughly around the 8, but they're all winnable games, which is super important to note. But yeah, history says this game won't be high scoring. I swear, every time we play each other, the final score is something like 18-12 or like 16 to like 10. You know, they're never high scoring games, but they are hard games. They're games where everyone's just grinding, and it usually comes down to the team that can force the most mistakes or just high completion rate. So I think that could be a factor. But we are 2 totally different teams since the last time we met. When was the last time we met? Where did I had it before? Because I swear we've met this season. Oh yes, we absolutely smoked them 44-12 in a hiding. So can they get us back? I don't think so. No, I don't hope so. Because right now we need to close our gap on the Sharks. It's just that points differential. It's a lot better than ours. They have 131. That's their differential. To ours is 92. The Dragons have a minus 90 differential, but are in the top 8 because of their record, which is why they want to keep winning to solidify their spot. Because if one of these teams outside the 8 are on the same points, they pretty much all have a better differential, bar the Knights. I say all that to say this. I've got my Bulldogs winning. I wouldn't say comfortably. I think this will be a tough game. St George are coming off a good victory against Melbourne Storm, one of the best victories of their season, along with that one against Penrith. But if form is to carry on, which I hope it does, the win-loss, 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 this weekend's equals the loss. So I'm playing on that as well. I'm playing on we are just in form. I'm going to go to Bulldogs to win in a close one. Oh, wow. No, I reckon it will be close. Low scoring. Wow. Maybe not actually. Anyway, I think the score is going to be like 26 to 16. Pretty much if you play the Bulldogs, I'm going to pick the opposition score as 16 every time. Because defensively, it's
average.
like, the average is like, they say a tick under 17. Oh, wow, then you get 16 points, Which,
Roger.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, right, every time I see us get more than 16 points, I think, yep, we got a chance, especially if we already have the lead, if it's like 10-all, and then we score the next two tries, I'm like, oh, we hit that magic, we passed the magic number, we passed that 16 margin or point, so I think our defense can hold on, and it's turning out to low-key be true. And look, going to the TAB support me. They actually think it's going to be a close one. They got the Bulldogs at $1.70. They got the Dragons at $2.15. I didn't actually put a bet on looking at anytime try scorers, but what we could do, looking at winning margins, I went, what did I say? Like 26 to 16. So that gives you a margin of 10. So if the Bulldogs to win by 1 to 12, that's paying $2.95, which is a lot better odds than, not a lot better. That's the wrong word.
But it's just better than the 170.
Yes, I guess like a better value bet. Yeah, the payout's better, but the odds are slightly down. So take that whichever way you want. I've got my Bulldogs winning. If you've got anything to say, feel free to say it.
I got the Bulldogs too. I'm going to put my bet on the Bulldogs, just outright winner. I don't think I'm comfortable picking a scoreline in this game. Yep. I'm just going Bulldogs outright winner. I'm sure the Bulldogs will put up a big one, but like you say, this could be a game where the Dragons build off some confidence after beating the Storm last week and manage to hang on. So I'm just going outright Bulldogs. Whether they win by 1 or win by 40 doesn't matter. Just Bulldogs. I'm gonna just put that on there. As we head over to the Sunday doubleheader, Suncorp Stadium. Shaun Johnson's final game at Suncorp Stadium, I think this would be too. I don't think the Warriors play us. Let me just take a quick look at the NRL ladder. One moment. I don't think we play the Warriors again. I think we've had our game against them. So let's just take a quick meander over here. It could be. I could be wrong, but I could be right. I'm correct. Shaun Johnson's final game at Suncorp Stadium, where it all started. I'm pretty sure he made his debut at Suncorp versus the Broncos. Let me just quickly Google that as well. But anyway, back to this game.
Wouldn't have a clue.
Dolphins looking for a big win. They need to get back into the 8. They're just on the outside looking in. This would be huge if the Dolphins can get back into the 8. And what they need here is a big win. A large score, but a big win. He debuted in round 1. Oh, no, he debuted against the... Oh, no, that's for Cronulla. We don't care for Cronulla. What the hell? For the Warriors, frick yeah. Where was I going?
His debut game was at Suncorp.
It was. Was it?
I know, I thought that's what you were Googling.
Yeah, look, he did. Yeah. Oh, no, he scored his first try in the NRL. And the Warriors 26-22 loss in round 22 against the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. So, might as well end his final game at Suncorp Stadium with one more try. Yeah, the Dolphins, they really need to kickstart that drive to survive. I'm going to call that sort of from now on out. If you're trying to get into the 8 or trying to maintain your position in the 8, it's the drive to survive, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what the Dolphins need to do. They need to kickstart that drive to survive. And it's going to need to start with a big, big win over the Warriors. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has been shifted back into the centre. The Warriors actually have been injury prone this season, man. They've lost a lot of players in almost every game. They're losing someone, which is tough to see, especially when they had the season they did last year. It's pretty much over for them. Adam Fanua-Blake sort of just coasting through now as he prepares himself to land up in Cronulla next season. Sean Johnson had an emotional farewell on Monday when he announced his retirement. I think the boys will want to, get up for Shawnee, send him out the right way. You couldn't get him into the playoffs, into the finals, but I'm sure you can make the rest of the season memorable. I'm expecting big games from those players there. Who the heck is Lika Halasima? He sounds a lot like a ligma. Look. I'm looking up for a big game from the Hammer, and Jermaine Sarko, his kicking games is going to keep them ahead of the Warriors, I think. I think that's what's let the Warriors down a lot this season too, is their conversions. They've just been inconsistent with getting that ball over the line to get those few point afters. And we all know those point after attempts are hugely crucial in either keeping head to head or taking those steps to just run away with the game. Point after attempts always the antithesis of winning games and losing games, I think. What are you looking at me weird for? My use of the word antithesis.
Yeah, yes.
What's your understanding of the word antithesis?
I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure it means like the crux of a game, the akamatua of what it is.
Yeah,
the antithesis.
Yeah,
and I think that's true though. That rings true. Like you can score, and like we saw it last week, the Warriors scored one less try, I think it was, than Parramatta Eels, but lost the game by 10 points because they missed all but 2 kicks. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There we have it. So, yeah, I've got Dolphins, man. Like, they've been up and down this season. They've been up and down, but it's hard to stay consistent when your coach is, 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in the door. He's off to the Bunnies next season, and it looks like he's been sort of playing puppet master behind the scenes, getting them prepared for next season because he doesn't want to go to a dud team. That's why he didn't come back to Brisbane. Don't blame him. So, yeah. I've got Dolphins winning, and this stadium might as well be theirs because the Broncos can't get a fucking win anywhere. Good luck to the Warriors. Maybe Dallin gets over for a try, but I think the Hammer goes for a double. I've got the Hammer going for a double, man. If anyone knows how to score tries, it's the Hammer, and if anyone needs to score tries, it's the Hammer because, he just be that guy, and I don't think the Warriors have that defensive wherewithal to stand up against the Hammer. They got exposed on the edges last weekend, so watch the Dolphins look to expose them again on a nice Sunday afternoon. Again, if you're in the area, go pick up tickets, go watch the Sean Johnson farewell tour, man. It's going to be good. The TAB agree with me. Dolphins at $1.44, Warriors at $2.80 in this game. I'm going winning margin, Dolphins 13 plus $2.40. And it's official. I'm off the bandwagon. I've come to my stop. I'm off the wagon. I'm grabbing my things. I'm just standing there lonely, waiting for the bus to Bali with the Broncos. Everywhere I went this season has just been unsuccessful. So we all get to look at everyone else's seasons from afar. That's my take on the Warriors and Dolphins. Like I said, Dolphins to win 13 plus I reckon the Hammer, he's just got too much in store for the Warriors, too much X factor, too much pizzazz, and I think with Jermaine Isako being able to put the icing on top of the cake with his kicking game, it's that what is giving me the confidence to say that the Dolphins should win this game. What's your thoughts? Who's winning? And then head over to the Knights.
I've got the Wars winning it, eh? I've got them causing an upset, going over, jump them. Yeah, so picking the Wars to win. Hopefully they can do it for Sean Johnson. And just let him ride off into the sunset these last few weeks, getting some dubs. So, yeah. Going with the Wars to win for that one. And in the last game for round 23, we have the Knights playing host to the West Tigers. This game has been played at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. I mean, I think the Knights have an outside chance to make the 8. As the ladder currently stands, I believe they are on, 22 points. So currently 4 points outside the 8. The differential is on the higher end, which is not good. Luckily, the Dragons have to play my Bulldogs, so they should lose that game, meaning they could, in fact, with a good victory here, get one step closer to being in their 8. I think the Knights might just run out of games, and as for the Tigers, pretty much a loss here I think it almost guarantees them the wooden spoon, which would be the 3-peat no one saw coming, or maybe everyone saw coming, or the 3-peat that you definitely don't want, of wooden spoons. Do you think if you get like a 3-peat of spoons, like you get them in like sets? Like how many spoons are there in like a cutlery set? Right? Tablespoon, teaspoon, dessert spoon?
Yeah.
But the Tigers are about to have the full set soon coming into the season.
Hey. And then a wooden spoon.
And then they'll get the wooden spoon. Oh, man. It's been one of those seasons for them. I think they need to get rid of a lot of their players. Start afresh. I mean, you can't get lower than last, right? So why not just go into the full rebuild anyway and just win a couple more wooden spoons?
Shouldn't you go up from last? Not keep staying at last? Like, you can't get worse than last, but you can't keep staying there. You should always go up.
Yeah. You would assume
you can only go up. You can't just hover.
Look, I don't know what it is at that club, whether it's the culture, it's something, because like I feel as though they bring in good players, like quality players, but for some reason it just doesn't work, and I don't know why. But you look at the players that leave there, they all go on to do better things.
That's true.
I mean, Luke Brooks is like,
we don't know about that. But here's the thing. Instead of diluting the league with yet another team, why don't we just fucking send the Tigers to Perth? They could have Western Australia Tigers. They could still be West Tigers. They'd just be Western Australia.
Because those Balmain fans would be mad.
Move to Perth. They can play at Optus Stadium. There's an O in the oval. Optus. It can be the West Perth Tigers.
They have, I think signs are there for them to get better, right? Don't they get rid of, not the owner, the general manager? I think their board is different now, because I think that's where it starts.
And you can do that? Gee, we need to do that. Fuck.
It depends on how, like, your club runs it. Because the issue with the Bulldogs is that I think if you're elected to the board, you get 2 years.
Oh, yo.
So every 2 years it's re-elected, which like you can't do anything in 2 years. You can't have like stability in there. And it was when Steve Hansen did a review of the Bulldogs when he was with us for like 6 months. That's like one of the first things he said. He's like, there's just no stability. and there's so much like in-house fighting. Board members pretty much at each other's necks. I don't know if that's what's happening at West Tigers, but I feel as though you have to get it right at the top first, and then let it trickle down. Right? You need to set standards. You need to have like a vision, and you need a vision and a goal, right? And everyone from top down needs to be working towards that goal or that vision, and that, I guess, goes part and parcel with your values. And you need people that exemplify your values and what you stand for. And if they don't, and they're not about it, you're gone. Like you need to go. And if that means getting rid of people that have been there for a long time in certain positions, then let them out. You have to have there has to be harmony from top to bottom, and normally that comes from clarity of people's role and clarity of the vision that's been put in place by those at top, and you just have everyone driving towards that one goal. Well, anyway, that's how I think you should do it. Anyway, could be wrong.
Yeah,
they could do that, and they'll still be shit.
Yeah, I mean, Brisbane need to figure something out in the front office because it's not working, man. They're contracting the wrong people. Players, coaching staff, they're just, man. We need a big change up there in Brisbane. It's been almost 20 years since our last grand final victory.
Yeah.
We're 2 years away. We're a year away from it. Can't include this year. We're not getting it this year, so we're one more year. If we can't make the grand final next year, we're then 20 years since our last grand final victory. That's too long for a club as great as Brisbane. We came out the blocks when we were a newly created club. When was it? I can't even remember. But in the 90s, had some wins. 2000s had some wins. Been pretty dry ever since, man. But it's not because we haven't had talent. Our Broncos teams have had plenty of talent in the years. We just haven't had the coaching staff or the front office that can sew it all together and put out a team and a coaching game plan that can win week in and week out. And I think, once the Tigers figure that shit out, they got a new board, they got a lot of new players coming in. Hopefully they've signed the right players, the right leaders that can turn the club around. And I think they have. We've seen a lot of good signs from Luai this season. I put a lot of trust in him. I think he could be that guy. He's definitely going to shake that the monkey off the back of having the safety net of Cleary when it comes to, Luai's greatness. If he can take the Tigers, probably not to a premiership, but if he can take the Tigers off of the wooden spoon, then, that's great signs for Luai as a player.
Yeah, I agree with you with the players that they'll sign. It's not that they're signing bad players. I just don't think they had a vision for the players that they signed, or they just saw the name. That's a big player name. Let's overpay for them, which obviously you're going to have to pay players more to come to the Tigers. But hey, man, maybe you need to sign 10 utilities that all, know how to work hard and are just good people in general. Anyway, kind of gone off sidetrack for this game, which doesn't really matter because I think Kalen Ponga is going to run all over this team. And with him being back in the side, they've stuck with the Gamble Crossland halves pairing. And then you got Adam Elliott at 13. Jack Cogger is 14. And then obviously you have, I forget his name, Hastings, not in the team at all. Look,
bro, and he had a blinder in reserve grade footy in the weekend. Bro. I think the coach don't like him.
Oh, it's weird for him because he's not consistent. He's way too good to play New South Wales Cup. He's going to dominate there. Every time he plays down there, he's just that good. But he's a lot better when he is the guy. When Ponga's in the team, he's not the guy, get the ball to Ponga or put Ponga in positions to kill. But then he has games where he's absolutely killing it, Hastings, and then he has games where he's just absolutely not, almost like he does nothing. And it's just too much variables, too up and down. And to be an elite level, well, not even an elite level halfback, a solid halfback in the NRL, you just have to be stable. You just have to be here. Right?
Yeah.
And then the ones who are elite, on an off day, their bad games, at worst, is a 7. I mean, Reynolds is Like he constantly, like as old as he is, and for as long as he's been in the game, he's always been like his worst game has always been like a 7.5, 1.8. You know, like the difference between his worst game and best game isn't really all that much. With Hastings, it's too high.
Fluctuates, yeah.
Yeah, fluctuates too much. Just not that level of consistency. But look, I think the Knights are going to win this one. I think Ponga is going to remind everyone how good he is. And the Tigers are going to end this game locked in as the wooden spooners. So they're going to get the dessert spoon this year, Fano. They're going to finish off the trio. And of course, they're going to get the wooden spoon as well. Let's see what the TAB has to say with it. Oh, hey, did I close the wrong tab? Oh, close the wrong tab, Fano. Be back with you real quick.
I got you. The Knights paying 1.28 and the Tigers paying 3.75 at head-to-head, with the winning margins being Knights 1 to 12, $3.10, 13 plus 2.15. Tigers to win 1 to 12, $4.40, and 13 plus is $8. So a safe bet is Knights 13 plus.
Far out. And I've gone with just a side bet. Kalen Ponga to score not one but 2 tries. And it's paying $5.40. So if you wanted to put a $10 bet on that, get yourself the potential to earn $50. There you go. But that's all I've got for that game. Knights winning, I don't know, 28 to 10. Ponga man of the match off the back of his 2 tries and probably 2 tries assist.
Nice. Well, yeah, I'm going Newcastle Knights 13 plus. Wish Bradman was in there, but he's not. And yeah, going to be a good game. I think the game of the round. Look, I'll give it to the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will probably have the game of the round. I think they're going to put on a big performance, especially playing in the Carl Webb jersey. And the Broncos got the first game, I think it was, and that's when they have the Carl Webb Memorial Trophy. So I know the Cowboys will be playing, with full spirits on that game, and I think it'll be a big scoring game. And I think, yeah, those players will definitely have game of the round. For me, who do you think's going to have game of the round?
I'm going with the Bulldogs and the Dragons.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be like I think it's going to be like a real hearty, old school throwback game.
Yeah. See, both of us picked games for different reasons. I didn't pick it because the Broncos are in there. I just picked it because I think it's just going to be a high scoring game because the Broncos are going to get smoked. Yes, so we are going to go in now with one of our final segments. It is big plays and paydays, ladies and gentlemen. And I did give you guys a big hint about the return on this one, but here it is. It is try scorers only. We've got Jack Howarth to be our anytime in the Melbourne game. We've got Jaden Campbell to be our anytime in the Titans game. Nathan Cleary for our anytime in the Panthers. Tommy Talau, anytime for the Sea Eagles. Val Holmes, anytime for the Cowboys. Zach Lomax, anytime for the Dragons. The Hammer has got it for a double. Kalen Ponga, anytime try scorer. Isabel Kelly for NRLW, anytime try scorer. Mackenzie Wiki, anytime try scorer for the Raiders. Stacey Walker, I've got her down for a debut try. Come on now, you can't tell me that she can't score tries. Didn't she score the game-winning try in the gold medal game for New Zealand? Wasn't she the last try scorer of the Olympics? So come on, man. The smiling assassin. I think she's going to light up the stadium. I think she's going to be great for the game. So I've got her down there. My final one is Tamika Upton for the Newcastle Knights. Anytime scorer, $10 pays out $236,557.33. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if that comes off, your boys, we're going to Bali. At the end of the season, we're going to do a live stream from Bali. We're just going to be chilling. It's going to be just enjoying a good break. The players get to have a rest. We get to have a rest. We get to, reflect on the year. So when that hits, we're going to Bali. I'm buying my motorbike. I'm paying some of my student loan off. It's just going to be good vibes, good times. That's your big play for big pay this week. Now, before we sign off for the weekend, do you have a big play? Or have you just been rattling yours off as we've been going?
I have a not as big play.
Oh, you got a big play though. You got a big play there.
Yeah. Same as yours. I decided to go with anytime try scorers. So these are all just same bit, anytime try scorers, one from each game. And I'm just going to read off the name. So I've gone with Grant Anderson because he likes to score tries for fun. Khan Pereira because I'm pretty sure he broke some NRL try scoring something. Taruva, it was either him or To'o. I went with Taruva. Dean Mariner, mainly because, well, he used to score tries when he was a winger, but he's at $2.85, so I figured the value was good there. Dunnan, I went with DWZ for the Wars, Ponga for the Knights, Zach Lomax, even though I think they're still going to lose. I feel as though he could still get a try. Then on the women's side, we've got Millie Elliott, Tamika Upton, and Jamie Chapman. $10 bet there gets you pretty much 10.5 grand. And yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. So we'll be going to Bali, but it might just be Bali.
Might just be Bali. No motorbike.
No, like other. But we're getting the whole fucking villa though.
Hey, let's go.
We're getting the villa.
Let's go. Get the villa. Get some drinks going. Get the live stream. We'll bring the camera gear. We'll bring it all, man. Hey, imagine if they both hit. Man. We're going to Viva Wa Vegas. If they both hit. Yeah. Hey,
damn right.
That could be a play. That could be a play. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
And then we take the winnings there. No, we just pay for the flights, and then we take the rest of the money to Las Vegas, and then put it on black or red.
It's black or black.
It could be the quickest trip to Las Vegas you've ever seen. But
hey, we'll get the flights and the hotel, and then figure the rest out when we're there.
Yeah, we'll figure it all out later.
Yeah, no, I'm down on that. Ladies and gentlemen, please pray for us. Not for anything good, but just pray to the gambling gods that for once this season I can catch a break. I can catch a win, man. I need it. I'm down bad. I feel like a junkie. Like, hey man, got any wins? How can I get some of these wins, man? Shit. About to be selling my soul for some wins. But before we log out for the evening, before we wrap up, we've got some big news to announce, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a regular listener and you listen to the show 2 times a week, you are the real MVP. But if you just listen on Thursday, go and check out our Tuesday episodes because we have a thing called My GM Mode. And for the past 6 weeks, it's been hypothetical.
Yeah.
We've been, if this could happen, we could simulate it. And we could just see, whose hypothetical team could get them closest to a championship. And I don't know if we're going to run these exact teams because some of the shit that is coming on Tuesday, is just ridiculous. So I don't know. I don't know how much of it we're going to actually run, but we now has the Rugby League Live 4 video game. So he's currently in the process of downloading all of the teams, current teams that is, 2024. And then at some point between now and then, I'm going to head over to Tauranga. We're going to boot up that game, man. We're going to just put all of these players into these teams and we're going to simulate a season. We're thinking we might get up a Twitch live stream. And then sort of play out that series alongside this. So we'll do maybe we'll do the My GMs on the podcast on the Tuesdays, and then whatever day we're free, you can go check out the live stream and see how those seasons are actually playing out. It also gives us the opportunity to then ourselves update the stats for all of the players so we can change the overall ratings based on our opinions of their performances through 2024. Also, stay tuned for the end of this year. We are going to do a top 50, similar to how the NFL do a top 100. I thought, man, let's not do 100. Let's just do top 50. And then we're just going to do our top 50 players from 2024 all the way down to that number one player. So make sure you tune in for that episode. Don't worry, it's not going to happen right away. It's going to happen towards the end of the season. But make sure you tune in for that because I think there's going to be some big time calls on who goes where and who goes what. But it's going to be a great sort of like starting platform, especially for us coming into next year because then we'll go, well, you know, I'm looking at the Knights. Kalen Ponga was the number one player in 2024. You know, 2025, who are we looking at to dethrone Kalen Ponga at that number one spot sort of thing? I'm only using Kalen Ponga as an example just because his face is right there next to, you know, Dream Buller, Dane Gagai. Out of all those players, Ponga is probably the best, so I just picked him. But we'll also, you know, have the ability to add ratings to these players. And maybe if we've got the patience, we'll do updated ratings maybe once a season or something like that. Just to sort of showcase how this game could, you know, work. Because we've always been talking about just these little aspects and elements we can bring to the video game. And now we've got the chance to talk you guys through some of the things that we enjoy in the digital world. And I think one of the things that sort of really got us into this podcast space was that whole fantasy, the drafting, the trades and all that kind of stuff around NRL. You know, we can sit at the table and just honestly draft players all time, current, different stipulations. So like current teams, but then, you know, the 7th pick is an all-time player at X position sort of thing. So, you know, those are the things that we get to talk about and that we get to bring to the show and bring to life because the bro now has the video game.
Shout out to the nephew, by the way. Appreciate it.
Hey, shout out, Neff. Let's go. I was also thinking too, G, remember at the start of the year, we both did, I think it was an all-time Broncos versus all-time Bulldogs.
Oh, yes.
I reckon we should run that up and then we'll try and like get as close to accurate stats for each of those players at that peak time they were at that particular club.
Yeah.
Instead of going for like, you know, like a 99 overall Willie Mason, but his actual overall that he would have been at the Bulldogs, probably 97 to 99 anyway, but you know what I mean? Maybe like a Jonathan Thurston. If you went Thurston Bulldogs, we're looking at like a 67, maybe a 50 sort of thing.
Nah, he would have been like a high 60s, low 70 guy. He was 17th or 18th man.
That don't mean you're good. He was like 18th
that team
man
was
at what?
Stacked.
Round 20?
It's because that team was too stacked, that's why.
That's why he got the low overall. Can't rank him on what his future was.
Nah, I'm just saying, like, I reckon like high 60s, low 70s, yeah.
I'm going to give him a 62. He was a rookie, wasn't he?
I'm not too sure.
But anyway, I don't even think he made your squad anyway. But yeah, so we can do things like that now, and you know, we can simulate a full 80-minute game. We just sit there, watch that get played out on the computer. Because I know if he put a controller in my hand, me versus him, I'm winning all day, every day.
Yeah, I don't play league games or rugby games. Not much.
Because remember at uni, we did this sort of thing at uni when I had my Xbox down there, and I'm pretty sure I just kept going undefeated.
Yeah, I don't even think I ended up playing. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It would be the same, like, you know, like shooting games. It'll just be the opposite. Yeah.
I'm a much better sport game than I am like shooters. I suck at shooters. Yeah, I need a carry. But get me on sport games, I got you.
Yeah, 2K. But like, I feel 2K has been the same game, so I just
2K's kind of cheese now. If you can glitch it, yeah.
Oh mate, that's why it was so good. Give me the dunk cheese. I still like know so many cheeses you could do, and there's just nothing as a defense you could do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Against a human, I was good, but I would struggle to beat like rookie because like the cheese doesn't work on the computer. I was just
Yeah.
get mad. I was like, fuck, I can't even I'd beat them, but like I'd be struggling. I'll play one of the flatmates, and I'll be like, oh, here we go. Yep.
It's a
Just
lot different now, though.
yeah.
The mechanics are way different.
I think my
They
style
kind
of
of have
play
that
hasn't
skill
changed
gap.
one bit.
Yeah, no, neither. I'm pick and roll, drive, dunk, and now it's a lot harder to do that. A lot harder to do that. So now you got to kick, start passing. Anyway, we're getting off topic. So yes, heaps of things in the works. We're getting close to the end of the season, but it doesn't mean that we're getting close to the end of the content. If you've liked the show, if you've liked the practice run, please do comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, tell someone you love that they should listen to the practice run. Come and join the practice squad. We are working on getting that Discord up and running. I'm working on getting some new graphics done, a new logo. We still ain't rich enough to get merch, man. It is what it is, all right? We got a hat. It's enough for now. Right? Humble beginnings, whānau. Humble beginnings, all right? What else do I need? Is there any other pānui that we need? That's, I think, it, eh? Just like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you're new here, welcome. We're glad to have you here on the practice run. That's it from me. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all again next Tuesday. Handing it over to Tu for the final word.
And as always, we'd like to give thanks to our supporters, both near and far. We really do love support that you provide us. And always feel free to come on. We're always looking for guests, especially West Tigers fans, so we can roast them. Or anyone who thinks they can hold it down, and talk chat. We're here for it. But like Rawiri said, we do have a lot of things in the works, new content coming out, hopefully, new avenues we can explore. And, you'll be a part of the journey as well. Watch us grow, organically, and we'll get better as we do it. Like with the GM mode, we don't know what we were doing to start with. Now we're starting to get better at it, and come next season, it'll be a lot more redefined, or a lot more defined. Kind of like if you've been following our journey, you would know with the show, from where we started to where we are now, we have come a long way, and we are fine-tuning everything. Even still, we will get there one day, but it's a process. And hey, sometimes you have to learn to enjoy and embrace the process, right? So that it can get you to where you need to be, and it's all just part of the journey. And sometimes the journey is a lot better than the destination, but it's even better when you're doing it with the bro, and you're just enjoying and just having a bit of fun. But we will leave it there for now. Good luck to all the teams this weekend. Not you, Dragons. I hope you guys suck. And West Tigers, I hope you get that dessert spoon as well. But to everyone else, good luck. We will see you on Tuesday. Leave it there. Be safe. Cheer to the cheer. Ma te wā.